Coming in at number 5 are the Africanized honeybees. Africanized honeybees are a subspecies of European honeybees that have been crossbred with African honeybees. These bees were introduced to Brazil during the transatlantic slave trade in order to start producing honey, since European honeybees can't handle the hot and humidity of South America. These bees eventually got loose and started spreading all over North and South America, eventually breeding with European honeybees. So, how can we tell the difference between an Africanized honeybee and a European honeybee, since they are the same species? You can't, at least not visually. The main indicator of Africanized honeybees is their highly aggressive behavior. They're so aggressive that they will kill anything that comes near their hive. A person, a dog, car. They've tried to kill cars before. This type of swarming behavior is incredibly dangerous, not only to random bystanders like you can see in this video, these bees are in the middle of a parking lot, but also to beekeepers. Beekeepers are also placed at a very elevated risk due to the fact that Africanized honeybees will swarm very, very far away from their hive. They chase stuff down. This type of aggressive behavior is also very stressful on the bees, meaning that the beekeepers are not getting as much honey. So not only are the beekeepers putting themselves in physical danger, but they're putting their businesses in danger when dealing with Africanized honeybees. And we don't really have a good way of getting rid of them right now. Coming in at number 4 on our list is lionfish. Lionfish were introduced to the Florida around the 1980s when aquariums started dumping unfiltered water into the ocean. That unfiltered water had lionfish eggs, and now we have a booming lionfish population. Lionfish are incredibly aggressive hunters that will annihilate whole populations in an area before moving on to the next. The way they're able to do this is with their most striking feature, their long spines on all of their fins that are filled with deadly neurotoxin. This neurotoxin can kill children and in adults cause immense pain. Trust me, you don't want to feel lionfish sting. Though we have found a good way of dealing with lionfish, which is lionfish hunting. As you can see in the videos here that I'm showing, lionfish hunting is not too hard, and it's been a pretty effective way of culling lionfish populations. Though lionfish population reduction in the past 5 or so years has been largely attributed to climate change and Florida waters just becoming too hot and too acidic for lionfish to really keep their populations at the level that they've been in for the past 30 or 40 years. Though lionfish hunting has proven to speed that process up. Not climate change, but their decline. There are several restaurants in the Bahamas and I believe one in the Keys that will pay hunters, lionfish hunters, by the pound for lionfish that they can serve at their restaurants. It's becoming a part of local business to destroy lionfish populations, which is probably why it's proven to be such an effective method. Hunting at large has proven to be a very effective means of culling invasive populations. This is most well researched with our next entry, number 3, the javelina, also known as the feral swine or the wild boar. Wild boars are an issue in every single part of the United States, including all 67 counties in Florida. It's believed that wild boars were introduced to Florida from the Spanish conquistadors when Hernando de Soto brought domesticated pigs from Spain in order to set up a colony here. These pigs eventually got loose due to the pastoral grazing system that the Spanish colonists used, and that led to wild pigs everywhere in the United States today. Wild pig populations are incredibly hard to track because they don't live very long and they produce very quickly, which means we don't even have a good estimate on how many pigs there are here. It's believed there's around 1 million to 2 million pigs in Florida, and about half of them live in the Everglades. We face a very similar issue with number 2 on our list, the Burmese python. Burmese python are gigantic snakes from Southeast Asia. These snakes will eat just about anything they can fit into their mouth. Not only that, they're almost impossible to track down. We don't know where these snakes are. Well, we know they're in the Everglades, but we don't know how to find them in the Everglades. We can't hunt them down like we can with the lionfish and the boars because we don't know where they are. We can't see them. Try to find the snake in this image. You can see its head, right? Now find its tail. Go back and find its tail. Python hunting is so hard that there are cash prizes presented to the public every year, both for getting large snakes as well as for participating in the annual Florida Python Challenge, where every year regular people can win up to $100,000 just from capturing a bunch of pythons. It seems almost hopeless getting rid of these snakes, but fortunately, there is a potential solution. It's being researched currently. But Guam, an island owned by the US, was facing a similar issue with brown tree snakes, and they managed to find a solution. They parachuted rats out of military planes that were filled with Tylenol. The rats were filled with Tylenol. They were stuffed. And this worked. It killed over 90% of the brown tree snakes in Guam. And the reason is because acetaminophen, the active compound in Tylenol, is deadly to snakes. They don't have the compounds that we have to metabolize acetaminophen. So it's like ingesting cyanide for a human. This could prove to be revolutionary for culling python populations in the Everglades. If we didn't have another reptile, which is also allergic to acetaminophen, that ate the same things that pythons do, which is large mammals. So now, what could possibly be worse? What animal could possibly present more of a threat to our ecosystem, to the beauty and the sanctity of the Everglades, than the pythons and their destruction and unending gluttony, to the boars and their inability to stop reproducing, to the lionfish and their deadly poison, and to the bees and their insane, aggressive, wrathful behavior? There is no animal that can rival these four, but there is a species causing untold destruction within the Everglades, within your own backyard. I can guarantee you that somewhere near you, within 100 feet, this species is there, and it's destroying the ecosystem around you. Brazilian pepper trees. Brazilian pepper trees are a plant with distinct red berries that can grow up to 10 feet tall in a single year. That is a tree growing nearly a foot every month. A tree. Them being trees is also why they're so hard to get rid of. You know how hard it is to get rid of a single tree? Now imagine hundreds of thousands to millions of trees having to get rid of those. You can't shoot a tree to lower its population. The tree's going to stay alive. As a survival technique, they choke out other plants, even to the detriment of other Brazilian pepper trees in the area. On top of that, the distinct little red berries that the Brazilian pepper trees carry their seeds in are very attractive to birds, which is how they've managed to spread so far in Florida. On top of this, these little red berries contain toxins to plants. When these berries drop on the ground and break down, they spread allelopathic compounds. Essentially, it means they send chemical signals to other plants to stop growing. Which is insane. They These are horrible plants. They're everywhere and they destroy whole ecosystems on their own. This single species is capable of wiping out whole forests on its own.